Welcome to your Daily 5 for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Late last year, a book was put out that I had meant to pre-order it, so I missed out on the limited edition, which was very nice. But, even the standard one is a beautiful object. The book is titled WipEout Archives. I almost got it right. WipEout Futurism, the Graphic Archives. I have been referring to this book as WipEout Archives for like 2 months now. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, this is a book that is dedicated to the graphic design of the video game series WipEout. And as far as I can tell, it covers every WipEout game that is currently released as of this recording. And if you missed out on WipEout, if you either weren't alive, which is possible, or just didn't play it, which I'll admit, I played the first one, really enjoyed it, and then never played another one until very recently. After reading this book, I picked up I'd already had, the WipEout Omega collection that's on PSN Plus. It's probably on almost every system at this point, which I guess must have been a free one that I just went ahead and added to my library because I intended to buy it. It's $20 and it was already there. It said included, so I guess I already had it. And I've been playing it. Oh man, it's great. But the book itself, this is one of the best video game art books. Actually, I should just say one of the best art books I think I've looked at in quite a while. Like I said, I picked it up, I think, in January, and I looked at it, I want to say February. I just looked at it again, and that's why I thought, I never did a 5 on this. I have to talk about it. Because if you didn't know anything about WipEout, weren't aware, there was a period of time, not like there isn't good graphic design in video games now, there certainly is, but there was a stretch where we had games that just had such distinct and immediately better than average design, or just stellar design, and WipEout is among the top. In fact, if you look, WipEout is often cited as a game with some of the best graphic design that's ever been done in video games, and it's one that often gets referenced even in modern games when they have certain art styles, because they'll say, this is WipEout. This is a WipEout inspired type of layout. Stuff like, was it Roller Dome or whatever? There was that one game, I can't remember, but that was kind of like Rez. All these games, Jet Set Radio, all these games of a certain time had these really distinct art styles. And so now, even if they're not really ripping it off, it is the thing that most people think of, even in modern games, because they are so well remembered. And this book is an absolute delight, because it's so specifically grounded to a period of time. Like, you can feel the years that these were designed in, because it's a very popular kind of design aesthetic at the time. I immediately can just think of like Mixmag, and when electronic music hit big, and there was a lot of stuff that was like this in terms of style, but there's so much thought that went into this, which is no surprise. When something is this well designed, it isn't accidental for the most part. And there's notes, there's kind of background, how they develop different things. And again, there's so much rich detail in the concepts that they were playing with, how things were put together, and what ultimately ended up being the final product. And it was one of the things that really, WipEout was a fusion of 3 things. One, the gameplay itself was very, very good for almost every game. Well, I've only played 3, but from what I've read, every game except for maybe one, I think, that was a little bit looser than they were trying something out. But the art style throughout has been excellent. The music was a hallmark of most of the games, even the ones that are lesser, that don't have the soundtracks that are quite as good as the better games. They're still great soundtracks. And so all of that, you can feel all that, even with no music, although I would recommend putting on the soundtrack when you read this book. It does make it 80 times better. But you get everything out of the book just by looking at it and seeing those notes. And even if you weren't somebody who was around when these games were popular, when this art style was really big, it's still worth looking at, because again, it's just the personality of this artwork and this design style is so clearly defined. It is so magnificently rendered. Like, there's just something about looking at something like this, where the design top to bottom is just, I doubt they just came up with it one day, but once they figured out what they wanted to do, they just mapped it out so precisely that, again, you often hear this, that people will say WipEout style design. And when they say that, this is what they're referring to. So I could not more highly recommend this book to anybody who has even mild interest in design, video game or otherwise, because it is just a gorgeous book in terms of its construction, what's inside of it. So again, it's called WipEout Futurism, got it right that time, the Graphic Archives, available to buy, and you should do it right away. Later.